back. In this video, I'm going to talk about snapshots. I'm going to show how to create a snapshot and how to create a scheduled snapshot in the Google Cloud. I have login in my account and one instance is running. I have created one instance, and for this instance, for the disk of this instance, I'm going to create snapshots. In a ChatGPT, I have shown some information since it gives organized all the information that you are searching. Information about the snapshot. What is a snapshot in a Google Cloud platform? A snapshot refers to a point-in-time copy of persistent disk. Persistent disks are network-attached storage devices used by virtual machines in the Google Compute Engine services. Snapshots provide data backup, replication, and disaster recovery capabilities. Here are how snapshots work and gives some ways and some information how the snapshots work in the Google Cloud. Is point-in-time copy. So when you create a snapshot of persistent disk, it captures the disk state at that moment. This includes all the data and the configuration stored in a disk. Incrementable backup, so the snapshots are incrementable, means that only data that has changed since the last snapshot was taken is stored in the new snapshots. This helps to minimize the storage costs and reduce the time required to run snapshots. Independent of the VM life cycle, snapshots are independent of the life cycle of the virtual machines. Even if you delete the virtual machines, its associated snapshots remain intact, allowing you to create new virtual machines from those snapshots or store data as needed. Regional or multi-regional storage, so the snapshots can be stored in a single region or distributed across multiple regions for redundancy or disaster recovery purpose. Cost effectivity, snapshots are built based on the amount of data they contain. With incrementable changes typically occur lower costs compared to full backups. So when you do the full backups, it's more expensive than doing the snapshots. It's relatively cheap. So lots of users of the cloud platform, they use the snapshots as options as a basic recovery option. Is a flexible usage. You can use snapshots to create new persistent disks, restore existing disks to a previous state, or migrate data between regions on the project. So this is an overall information about the snapshots. And now we're gonna go and create step by step how to perform the configurations and how to set up snapshots and schedule snapshots. There are even some tutorials in Google Cloud that shows how to create snapshots through console or through command line interface. So we go to the option after the virtual machine is shown in the screen. We have a disk, and here is the disk that the information about the disk that this instance is using. In the actions were 3 dots we can use to create a snapshot. And this is how to create manually a snapshot. So we create snapshot demo. This is for demonstration, for demonstration reason. We give a description of the snapshot. Then the most popular is the disk one. The instance is even showed here. That is a rapid restoration. But in this way, in this video, I'm going to do a disk snapshot. Then, since we have selected to do the snapshot through the disk option, and we have previously selected the disk, automatically it shows here in the source disk the instance name that we want to do the snapshot. But if it is not shown, then you have to select the name of the source that we want to do, the disk source that we want to do the snapshot. Then there are different types of snapshots. This is the standard one that used for backup or disaster recovery. You can store in a separate location from your disk, or is an instant snapshot. This is a very rapid restoration that you can store in the same location as your disk, or archive snapshots. This is for a longer term. and it's not part of this video. So I'm going to show even this video how to use a standard snapshot. Here in location, there is a multi-regional and regional location where you can save and store your snapshot. I have created a chart here to understand what really means multi-regional and regional location of storage of your snapshot store. For example, I have created a regional. If you select the regional one, and you choose the US in West 1 Oregon, here is the regional that we have selected. In the zone A, it's running my instance, and all the zones that they are part of this region, they're gonna have a copy of my snapshot that's gonna be saved. And in case that, for example, let's say that something happens in my zone and it goes down this instance and everything that is stored in this zone, then I am able to recover my information from the snapshot that is saved in the zone B and the zone C. So this is a method that you can use to restore information from the snapshots that they are saved in multiply zone of the region. But let's talk about the possibility that the whole region is going to go down. So in this case, you cannot restore the information because there is nowhere where to find your snapshot. So the other option is to use a multi-regional. So instead of having just one region with some zones that they save your snapshot, you can have even another region that is the West 2, that is the snapshot saves there in this region, and the West 3, that is the store, again, your snapshot. So in case that the whole region is having a problem and the Google Cloud can take some time to recover all the information from that region, then you can recover your disk from the snapshots that they are saved in the other region. There is a difference between the regional and multi-regional options to store your snapshot, is because the regional one is cheaper than the multi-regional one, and depends on the complexity of your project. You can choose which one is appropriate for your project. Depends on the cost, and also depends on the information that is stored in your project. You can choose which one is better and effective for the projects and for the situation of your project that you want to create the snapshots. So let's go back, and I'm going to choose the regional one since we are in a demonstration project, and we don't have any specific requirement, but you can choose even multi-regional one. And when you choose the multi-regional one, you can choose which region you would like, the Asia, Europe, or United States. And if you live in United States, you choose the United States multiply regions. And in regional one, I choose Oregon since this is the zone, the area where I work. And this application consistency, since it's not part of the disk, I am not gonna enable it, and I just create it. It's gonna take some time for the snapshot to be ready and to run. So this is the manual way of creating the snapshot. You can create snapshots through the terminal, or you can check the status of your snapshot through your terminal. Compute snapshot list. It's the snapshots. So like this. So it is showing the snapshot that we are creating is still in uploading status. and it gives the name of the snapshot, the size of the disk, the information about the source of the disk that is creating a US West 1 and instance 1, the name of the instance that this disk is using. So now it is created. It gives the name of the instance, the location, the snapshot size, the creation, that is a manual one, and is the source disk in this way is instance 1. So these are the basic information that we can see through our snapshot that has successfully been performed. And here you can edit, or you can show the equivalent REST code. So this is the basic steps of creating your snapshot, manual snapshot through the through your cloud provider, in this case Google Cloud. Now we're going to create a snapshot scheduler. This is very popular as well. We create a schedule demo for so this is create snapshot schedule. So regularly or automatically can perform the backup of your persistent disk. We create a name, we give a description, and then we choose the location. Here I like to save my work in the West 1. And then we choose where we're going to store the snapshot location. We can choose multi-regional or regional one, just in the same case that I was explaining in this diagram. Since we are in a demonstration project, I select regional one and I select Oregon. And then here is the frequency. By default, we use the daily one, but you can choose hourly or weekly. You can choose the days of the week and add more days, depends on how often during the week you want the scheduler to run. I will select the daily one since it is the most common scheduler for snapshots and is the start time. Usually it's recommended to choose times that is out of the business, so it doesn't slow down, it doesn't impact the performance of your instance. So for example, at 2 a.m. And here is the time that you want this snapshot to run. You can run 14 days, or you can run 30 days, or less or more than 14. And then you can create a deletion rule. You can, after this disk is deleted, you can keep the snapshots, or you can delete the snapshots older than 14 days. Depends on the way how you want to manage the information of the snapshot. You can keep them and manually then delete, or you can delete them. But there might be cases that when you do this option here, you might lose the information and you might not be able to recover your snapshots. But this is part of your decision how you want to manage the information. And then I created. Here it shows in a snapshot schedule, it shows the one that was the one that I created. And now is an old scheduler that I created. And also I can is the new one that I already created. I can delete the old scheduler that I did before doing this video. That was mostly running. Let's refresh it. Oh, it's already new, so let's leave this and delete later. So here is the one that I already created. Here has all the information about this, this scheduler. Now this scheduler we can attach to the disk. We go to disk and we go inside the disk, the instance, and here is to edit. Here we can select the snapshot scheduler. Automatically now it's shown that it's scheduled demo 1. This is because before making this video I was doing a test, so I created another scheduler that was called schedule demo 2, but the one that I just created is schedule number 4. So I'm gonna choose the one that I created and save it. It's gonna take some time to update the disk. And here it shows the snapshots. So these are the snapshots that they are in my Google Cloud account, and the instance one is successfully updated. So when we go to the snapshots, to the option here, this is the manual snapshot, and when we go to snapshot scheduler, we see that our scheduler that we created, when we go to in use, it has attached the instance one, the one that we wanted to use to schedule the snapshots. We can also check with these commands we use already to show the snapshots, but we can use even gcloud compute resource policies list. And here I make it bigger. It gives information. With this command, you can see some information about the scheduler. So it is the name of the scheduler. It gives a description of the scheduler, and also when it was created, and the region that is in West 2. And this is another scheduler that is same, the description, the region, and the date. So this the first scheduler I created before recording this video, and the other one is the scheduler that we created during this demonstration. So it shows even the time and the date that I created the other scheduler. And now, as you can see, my old scheduler has changed the status. When you go in use by, it doesn't have an instance. So, or the disk of the instance that I wanted to do the snapshot, because I configured the disk and I attached this new scheduler to that disk. And now this scheduler doesn't have anymore the disk, which gives the possibility for me to delete. So when you want to delete, now is available to delete it. And when you want your scheduler to delete, first you have to make sure that it is not in use by another disk or another instance. So first you have to disconnect from the disk or an instance, and then you can process with the process of deleting it. So now it is successfully deleted. And as you go here, it doesn't show any more information about that scheduler. So with the gcloud compute resources policies list, it shows the list of scheduler that actually are in my system. And the old one that I deleted, it doesn't show in my system. And here the creation type is manual. And for this snapshot, we can delete it. It's going to take some time. So we can refresh the page, and then we go here, and there is nothing shown even in my command prompt. And these are the steps of how creating the snapshots and how to create scheduled one and manual one, how to delete them, and how to attach to the disk a scheduled snapshot. The other thing that I wanted to say is that the snapshots are a very important part of, it's a very useful process to do the basic backups. It's very useful to restore the information of the disk from the snapshots. Depend on the complexity of the projects that you are running. You can choose which one is proper and which one meets the requirements of your project. Every configuration that you do in a Google Cloud has a certain costs, and always I recommend to check the tutorials that they give the pricing information and detailed information about how much a certain service or a certain configuration costs. Monetary politics of the Google Cloud or other cloud providers, they change a lot. Change a lot and very often. So it is very recommended to check the tutorials and to understand better the price of the resources that you're going to use.